Hi, my ECAP friends. It's Teacher Carolyn here. I want to read you another story today about camping as well. I hope that you're planning your camping trip because I know we are. All right, this is called Pete the Cat Goes Camping, and James Dean wrote the story. Let's see what happens in this one. Pete the Cat is excited to go camping. This is his first time. Don't forget your sleeping bag, says Dad. Or your hiking boots, says Mom. Sounds like they're going to go for walks, maybe. The campsite is deep in the woods. Mom and Dad, they set up the tent. Pete and Bob, they help collect sticks so that they can make a fire later. Like in our last story, they wouldn't have a stove to cook on, would they? So they have a fire that they're going to make. Pete and Bob, they go for a hike. Bob shows Pete the footprints of different animals. Do you think we'll see anything cool? Asks Pete. Maybe, says Bob. I wonder what kind of animal footprints they'll find. Those kind of look like they might be dogs. Pete and his dad go fishing. They must be very quiet and very still to catch a fish. Fishing takes a long time. They finally catch some fish. Mama builds a fire. She cooks the fish for dinner. It tastes yummy. Next, Pete toasts marshmallows. Pete makes s'mores with chocolate and graham crackers. One of my favorite campfire treats. It starts to get dark out. Bob tells Pete a story about a scary, hairy giant. The giant lives in the woods, and his name is Bigfoot. Do you think he's scared? Maybe. If he is scared, what could he do? He could ask Mom or Dad for help, couldn't he? Do you think Bigfoot lives here? Asks Pete. No one's ever seen Bigfoot, Bob says. Don't tell Bob. Don't let Bob scare you, says Dad. Bigfoot is not real, says Mom. And Pete sighs with relief. He looks kind of worried here, doesn't he? He's wondering, is he real? What do you think? But if it's real, I bet he's friendly, says Dad. And likes s'mores, too. That's not scary, thinks Pete. Maybe he wants a s'more. Pete leaves out one for his hairy friend. There it is on the table. Soon it's time for bed. Lights out, boys, Dad says. Bob and Pete share a tent. Pete gets into his sleeping bag. It's cozy, but he cannot sleep. There, it looks like they put the fire out. Why might they put the fire out before they go to sleep? Yeah, so it doesn't catch on fire somewhere else. So there they are laying in their sleeping bags, thinking. I bet they're thinking about Bigfoot and if he's real or not. The woods seem extra dark, and all the sounds seem extra loud at night. Pete hears a weird swooshing sound. What is that? He asks Bob. It's just the wind, says Bob. The sounds do sound different than they do at home, don't they? Pete hears an odd chirping noise. What's that? He asks out loud. Those are just crickets. Pete hears a strange hooting sound. Hoo, hoo, hoo. What is that? He wonders. That's just an owl. Pete thinks of his old friend Owl. How many of you have heard an owl before? Pete hears a sound, a loud snapping sound. Crack! What is that? He wonders, but Bob is already fast asleep. Pete listens carefully. Crack! Is it Bigfoot? Pete peeks outside. It's too dark to see anything. When Pete wakes up, he checks the spot where he left the s'mores for Bigfoot. The s'mores is gone. Look there, it's gone. But I see a note on the table. Do you see the note? The note says, thanks for the treat, X's and O's. There is a note. It says, thanks for the treat, X's and O's. Pete shows his family. Wow, I knew Bigfoot was real, says Bob. Pete knows Bigfoot is not scary. Just because he looks different doesn't mean he's scary. He even likes s'mores, too. Do you think Bigfoot really ate his treat? I bet it was his daddy. That's what I bet. I have a game to play. This is a game that we play when we go camping sometimes. And so with this game, you'll need a deck of cards. Doesn't matter, any cards. I'm going to take out all the cards that have faces on them. So kings, jacks, and queens. All I'm going to use are the numbered cards. See, like 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to count out 5 cards for me and 5 cards for my friend. Okay, so we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards for my friend. There we go. We each have 5 cards. And 5 cards plus 5 cards is how many cards? That's right, 10 cards. Then I have my dice. So I have, if I have 1, it's a die. If I have 2, it's a dice. Okay, so I'm going to take my dice, 2 of them, and I'm going to roll them. Okay? And then I'm going to look at what they have on them. And I have 12. So I have 6 dice on this one and 6 dice on this one. That makes 12. Okay, so then I'm going to count my cards. Okay, I need to make 12. Okay, so here's 10. So if I have 10, let's see, 10, 11, 12. How many more do I need? So I need a card that has a 2. Do I have a 2? I do, right here. So I'm going to take this 2. And now I have 12. 10 plus 2 is 12. Okay. Or I could do this with 1 die and use my 5 cards. Whoops, lost my cards. Okay, and I'm going to roll 1 die. Okay, all right, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. So now I need to see if I can find a card that has a 4 on it. Do I have a card that has a 4 on it? Is this a 4? No, that's a 6. Is this a 4? Yes, that's a 4. So I'm going to take my 4 out. I have one. Now it's my friend's turn, and he would roll the die and see what he has. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's look at his hand. He would look at his hand and he would see, does he have a 5 in his hand? Does he have a 5? Is this a 5? No, that's a 2. Is this a 5? That's a 9. Is that a 5? No, that's an 8. Is this a 5? No, that's a 7. And we have one left. What is this one? Is that a 5? No, that's a 3. So he doesn't get any. It's my turn to play again. All right. I hope you had fun. Maybe you can come up with some new games to play also. Happy camping, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. This is somebody that you might see when you go camping. What is this? It's a turtle. That's right. Sometimes we do see turtles when we camp, don't we? Especially around the ponds or the lakes or the rivers. This is my little friend. This is my turtle. He lives in a shell. He likes his home very well. He pokes out his head when he wants to eat, and he pulls it back when he wants to sleep.